Step into the ripple and awaken your world. Welcome to the Naturally Wild podcast. Hi everybody, welcome to our very first podcast. My name's Beck, for those who don't know me, and I am the owner of Naturally Wild. I create beautiful, energetic products for everyday living, natural living, and this is my lovely co-host Kira. Kira has Mama Queen Yarra Valley, and she is an amazing creative person who loves making things out of nature.
Correct.
Yes. And so for episode 1, we thought we've created this space for those who are remembering. Those people who are maybe noticing that there's a big or little energetic shift in the world, and we're feeling it, so we want to know if you're feeling it too.
So tonight we are starting our journey on the 8th of the 8th, which is the Lion's Gate portal.
Yes.
So we need to step through this portal to who we actually want to be. So we need to let go of the crap that we tell ourselves and the people that we no longer aspire to be, and find who we want to be and be that through this portal. And I think with the energies in the universe at the moment, it's going to help us. It's going to help us get to where we need to be.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big download of light codes happening at the moment, which might sound a bit woo-woo for some people, but it's really happening. And what's happening is that we, as human beings, are upgrading our DNA unknowingly, which is kind of cool. But I think we have an inner standing of what's actually happening, and that's why we're seeing these little glimmers of awakenings happening with lots of people. I know lots of people that I'm talking to these days are, mentioning different things about, the world's gone a bit batshit crazy, and that's because we're coming sort of to that bottleneck and that precipice, or that, that pressure's building, and the light's going to crack open. Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it? It's going to crack open.
Yeah. It's going to crack open, the world's going to go crazy. And I think, if you're not resonating with this, or does sound a bit woo-woo, I think you need to just listen. Just listen and just feel. Because when it does crack open, there's going to be a lot of crazy in the world. A lot of weird things going to happen. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty, lots of shit, actually.
But that's good,
because
it means that the old world is crumbling.
Exactly.
And it hasn't been serving us well for probably centuries, if you want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yes.
But we might save that for another podcast. I think what we wanted to sort of talk about maybe to start with was, how do we know that something is cracking open in us?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. Let's say, or let me ask you, what was the thing that cracked you open, maybe, or when did you first notice that there was another light shining through from somewhere?
So basically it was, I've always been in tune with Earth, and I've always been silently questioning things. But it was probably when I met one of my soul sisters, Danielle, where I actually felt, and I think I was at 21, I actually could not find any part of myself that I liked. I never looked in a mirror. I couldn't look into my eyes.
Yep.
And I don't know what that was. And I was like, there has to be a better life than this. There has to be a better way of, being in tune with myself, because something just wasn't sitting, and I didn't know what it was. So she told me about this wonderful woman, Rosemary McDoctor, many moons ago, and said, look, just come along and see what happens. So it's now been a long time, I want to say 16, 17 years, where I've learnt who I am. I've done inner child workshops. I've figured out, my birth numbers, my numerology, and everything starts to make sense. And as soon as you crack open those doors, that have been shut off to bullshit rules or conditioning, you know, kids should be seen, not heard sort of thing. You know, those sorts of bullshit rules. You know, all those things start to unopen, and I guess finding out who I am authentically meant to be is like just a reach away. But yeah, it's been a long time, and it's almost only now within the last year that I've hit the nail on the head.
Something's really
setting in.
The momentum.
Yeah.
And I think that's just really got a lot to do with what's happening with the frequencies of the universe at the moment. Because the energy's changing, the vibration's changing, but there's still a lot of people that are vibrating quite low. And anyone who follows me on Instagram, I'm always putting stuff on there about raising our vibration. Let's do things that are energetically good for us, good for the planet, and we'll tap into a bit of that as well, learning to listen to our intuition.
Yes, that's huge.
That's a huge part of energetic living.
Absolutely. But I want to ask you, when was your moment of...
Well, I think I'm a bit the same in the way that I was waking up incrementally or in fragments, I guess you'd say, even from a kid. You know, I was always making lotions and potions and you know, little things, sticks and leaves and flowers and all that sort of stuff. My mum used to call me a little green witch. So so I think that was good. But still, when I look back, I was being conditioned from the mainstream, which I didn't even know what that was, of course, back then. I've only really come to learn that term in the last 5 years. But what I was finding is that, I was waking up. And I think it really started about 2014 when I started my naturopathy degree. And then it's just accelerated from there until 2020, which was a big catalyst. I think that something happened in 2020, which the veil lifted very quickly for a lot of people. A lot of us, I think, went through what I always like to coin that phrase, the dark night of the soul.
Yes, correct.
Where I really realised that things were not what we have been told, and there's a whole other world out there that we're purposely sheltered from.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
100%. The amount of uproar 2020 gave everyone was just too big to just push under the rug. Yeah,
it really was. And so, that was a big one for me. But then this year has been insanely crazy for all different reasons. But energetically, it just keeps going. That vibration, for me in particular, just keeps going up, up, up. So, and I think that's what's just happening collectively.
Yeah, yep.
But there's still more people that need to jump on. Jump on board.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't fight the energy. You can't fight the energy. So we are conditioned to go to work 9 to 5 and to, make sure you've got breakfast on the table by 9. Like, time is a huge thing.
Yeah.
We're so conditioned to that we are so disconnected from that energy flow. Once you let the energy flow, right, you're out of that Hertzian bullshit energy, your vibration will start to get higher and higher. And you'll feel different. Your health will become a lot better, your mental clarity. Like, for an example, like, if you go from somewhere and you've got a thought, like you're driving, okay? You're coming from the city and you're driving and you're listening to a podcast, or you're having a really, really happy thought, and all of a sudden you're 5 minutes from home and you're like, wait a minute.
Yes, where you're almost like,
how did I get here? Like, I don't remember driving along the freeway and getting a cheeseburger from McDonald's. I don't remember that.
Yes.
So like, it's when you're in flow, it's
that
really
time
important.
Almost stands still.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's important. We need to trust our feelings and our intuition and our body so that we do
what's best for it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And yeah, that I totally agree with that. And like you said, you know, when we're trusting our gut, our intuition, energetic living becomes very natural, doesn't it? And so instead of living from the outside in, we need to learn to live from the inside out.
Yes.
Don't we?
Yes,
we need to trust what's going on in here.
Yeah.
Yes. So, like we were just saying, society has taught us to override those intuitive feelings we might have, something that, you know, our gut instantly tells us we should be saying no to, but we end up saying yes to because, well, we've been taught to be polite, haven't we? And not let anyone down and be a yes person, but that just ends up literally sucking out our souls.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. So, yeah, that's a big thing of how we can turn that around is by learning to say no. You know, if you don't, you know, the girls want to go out for drinks or whatever. You don't want to go because you're exhausted from that week, but you don't want to let anyone down. You have to look after you first.
Yeah, you're not going to miss anything.
You have to protect your peace.
You do.
First. I think that's really important. But energetic living, it's about being intentional. Intentional with, to raise your frequency, you have to be intentional in what you do.
Yes.
Who you spend your time with is important. What you're listening to, whether, you know, the type of music you're listening to, the reels you're watching, the YouTube shorts you're watching, all those things. You know, the news is a big one.
We don't watch the news.
I haven't watched the news in 5 years. And we were avid news watchers in our house.
Yeah, we were too, actually.
After the old 2020 thing, I said no more. Enough's enough. Propaganda, the propaganda was thick and strong, and I was like, we're not going to be brainwashed by the news anymore because, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what the news is doing. It's brainwashing you.
It's morbid. It's always sad.
Yeah, when you find out who actually runs the news, and who pays for those people to speak those words, that's another rabbit hole for another day. Let's talk about how we can care for our energetic field to help us tune into that intuition and keep our vibration high.
Yep.
What are some things that you do? Do you have any like morning rituals maybe, or do you? Yeah, is there anything in particular that you like to do?
Apart from my morning coffee, it's my first ritual. So I have now removed daytime TV and I replace it with YouTube music, but it's not music, it's basically your healing or your frequencies. I'm very mindful of which frequencies I put on. If I put it on and I can't deal, I'm not going to listen to it. You know, like my husband put on a stress and relief one and I had to turn it off because it just was wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't the frequency that resonated with you.
That's right, it was horrible. So that's what I put on. I will always put on some incense. I like the sandalwood. Sandalwood and rose is a really nice incense together.
Nice.
But I do a lot of, if you could call it whatever you like, I call it spelling. And it's basically invocation. I invoke a lot. I speak a lot to no one, but to the universe. So I will often go to my altar and light the incense and then invoke for a good day. But it all should start with when you open your eyes. So when you open your eyes, now you've got to be mindful of what you say because the words you speak is casting spells, right?
Correct.
So for an example, if you're going to wake up in the morning and say today's going to be shit, it is. It is because you've just asked for it. So the universe is providing that for you because you've asked for it. So there's no reason for it not to happen. So I think that's the most important thing. As soon as you wake, don't grumble.
clap your hands and say, this is going to be a great day.
Exactly. So that's my sort of morning rituals.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I put crystals in my pockets.
Oh yeah,
I've always got crystals in my pockets. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. Make sure you cleanse them too, but always don't let people play with your crystals.
Yep. You can get some white sage, you know, if you've got some, for those who don't know, some lovely white sage. You light that and the smoke will help cleanse the crystals. I also like Palo Santo wood. This is an ancient wood that is also very cleansing. A lot of native communities will use things like that.
Beautiful.
We've all seen the American Indians, you know, waving the smoke over themselves to cleanse their energy and their auric field.
Yep.
That's a really nice one to do.
Breathing is huge.
Yeah, breath work. That's something
huge.
I want to get into more, is doing more and more breath work. And I will talk a bit more about that later when we talk about the soul tribe. And it's really nice to even do, like, before you pick up your phone or anything of the morning when you're lying in bed, you know, you've just opened your eyes, is to maybe, like, just close your eyes and do a bit of a body scan.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that before, where you like just scanning through your body? It's amazing how we're so connected to be able to see this, and a lot of people probably don't even know that they can do it.
Yeah.
They can tune in to where that ache is, that pain, that weirdness. You know, oh, maybe I actually need to stretch that out a bit, or you know, maybe I'm still feeling tired. I didn't have a great sleep. What can I do to nourish my nervous system today? Whether it be, instead of having a coffee straight up, maybe have a chamomile tea and a nice brekkie.
Yeah, exactly.
And line your tummy before that. Yeah, you know, do a few yoga stretches or something like that. That's always really nice to do. And again, you know, maybe before getting on TikTok or something like that, pop on, like we were saying, I love getting on YouTube and I put on some crystal singing bowls or lovely handpan music.
Handpan's good.
Love the handpan.
Yeah.
So they're really nice things to do.
Beautiful. There's one thing that I love to do, and especially if I am feeling completely out of whack, like I've had a massive meltdown or I've just had just an explosion, I'll go to the shower and I will have a meditation shower.
Oh yes, you were telling me about this the other day.
Yes. So you have a shower and basically you meditate in the shower as this beautiful white light above your head with the water, and you imagine that going through your whole body, washing all of that anger off or all of the distortion off or all of the negative energy off, and you watch it roll off your body into the drain.
Beautiful.
And as you do that, when you're ready to hop out the shower, you say, as I will it, so it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that, because even our thoughts are powerful.
Absolutely.
Like you were saying before, our words are powerful,
Yeah.
so we have to be careful of what we speak.
The way you speak to yourself.
The way we speak to ourselves.
It's very important.
And the way we just speak into the universe.
Yes.
Is like casting a spell.
Exactly.
But our thoughts can do the exact same thing.
They can.
Yeah.
They can.
So it's a good idea to do something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's very important, because the way you talk to yourself is so important, that if you talk so negatively about yourself, you will create disease, right? The dis-ease in your body will create disease.
Yes.
So I'll give you another example. I love an example.
Yeah.
So I have been learning this year to speak up for myself, because I've always been told not to, because I'm loud and I'm a sanguine personality type. And we'll go through that another time.
Okay.
Basically, if I feel like I can't speak up, I have internal anger, and I always get a sore throat, or worst case, laryngitis.
Yeah. So
this
throat chakra.
The throat chakra. So the throat chakra means that, well, the pain there is me not talking, me not speaking my truth, me not saying I'm cross about this, or me not having my opinion because I felt like I wasn't allowed to have it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this morning I had a very, very swollen throat. And it's interesting, and I know that now. I never realised, I thought that was just when I'm sick, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
Always get a sore throat. But I guess pulling the veil off and realising the bigger picture, that it's really important that I speak up. But even the way I spoke to myself in the last 2 days is not okay, which has resulted in an extremely sore throat.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's really important that you speak
Amazing.
to yourself nicely.
Yeah, Louise Hay always talks about how your thoughts will manifest in your body.
Exactly. Yes, and that's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To recognise that and learn about it too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that so much because we are vibrational beings.
Yes.
We have an energy field around us. There is energy everywhere. Ether is the energy field, you know, between us and the sky, I guess you'd say. And unfortunately, they call that the fifth element.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually removed from the periodic table. I wonder why. I wonder why. Because we actually have the ability to tap into the ether, that energetic field, and I think it's been hidden from us for a reason. But again, another rabbit hole to go down another day, but we'll definitely get there. And so it's really all about, I guess, things are hidden from us to stop us from remembering who we are.
Yes. Blockages.
Yes. It's one of my favourite sayings is, how do I remember who I was or who I am before the world told me who to be? I think that's the right way to say that. But yeah, like, who are we really? When we take off the conditioning and this, you know, mask that we all are wearing, who are we underneath? So that's what we're all about. That's what we're here to chat about and discover. How to listen to our body, how to listen to our thoughts, how to tune into the field.
Yes.
How do we tune into the field? So there are ways we can do it, going back again, sort of that in that body scan sort of aspect, that tuning in and listening to our body. And ways that you can do that is thinking about what lights you up and what dims you.
Okay, yes.
Or what makes you expand as a being, or what makes you contract, is a really good thing. You know, having an honest conversation with yourself about your own energy and your own energy field. And I think there's some nice starting off points, because a lot of people don't even realise they've got an energy field. We all have something called the magneto-sentient field that extends 6 feet around us all. Think about where we were told not to, when we had to stand 6 feet apart from people. Because they didn't want us to be contacting each other energetically.
That's so interesting.
That is interesting.
It's really interesting.
And you know that feeling when you walk into a room and you can feel the energy of other people.
Yes.
That is that field. So I find it really interesting how we were told to stand 6 feet apart. Why? Because they didn't want us to we couldn't we had masks on.
Yep.
Well, I didn't, but we had masks on. And we couldn't look at each other's facial expressions.
No.
So we were going to have to try and communicate another way.
Yeah.
And we can actually do that. You know you can do that. You can walk in a room, I can sense how you're feeling through your aura or your magneto-sentient field.
Yep.
I do it with lots of people. So we all do it. Some people just don't realise they're doing it. So, you know, we were told to stand 6 feet apart, so we couldn't even feel each other energetically.
Yeah.
I find that really interesting.
Yes, but the fear behind that was humongous too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember someone standing behind me in a line, and I could feel they were in it. They were in my bubble. And I'm like, get out of my bubble.
Yeah, but that's because you'd been told to feel that way.
Yes.
You had to be told how to feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always been very high on feeling energy. I could always feel it. growing up, getting home, Dad would get home, I could just feel if the energy was off. I just knew.
Yeah.
Never realised what that was, but the more I do this work, the more I realise that I'm an energy being.
Yeah.
And that is one of my powers. I can feel energy.
Yeah.
I can feel people walk in the room, and the same. I walked up to a kinder mum actually, and gave her a cuddle, and she needed that. I didn't know she needed that.
But your field knew that.
Yeah, but she needed that, and I cuddled her.
Your higher self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was lovely, and she sent me a message later on saying thank you. I really needed that. And I'm like, felt like you did.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have that. We have that sixth sense, you know, to be able to sense what other people are feeling.
Yes, but it's
through
okay
their energy.
to feel that though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not such a hoodoo voodoo thing.
No.
Like it's not a taboo thing.
It's actually our natural state.
It's who we are.
Yeah.
So if you feel like that, embrace that.
Yeah.
You need to embrace that.
Yeah, we
Because
do.
how are you going to be your authentic self if you don't feel yourself?
Yeah.
If you don't connect?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have to connect.
Blows my mind.
Blows my mind, me
Yeah.
too. But it's amazing, and that's why we're here.
Correct.
To all connect, to find the tools to help navigate this crazy world that we're all awakening into.
Yeah. I think little steps is huge.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you don't want to jump in it.
You can't just jump in. That could be bad.
End up
That could be bad.
end up in the dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh
You're
my
in
god,
trouble.
I've gone batshit crazy, and everyone thinks I'm batshit crazy, and
That's okay.
that's okay. It's all good. So yes, one of the things that I am creating is our soul tribe.
Yes. I'm so excited for this.
So this is part of the reason why I wanted to do this podcast, so we can start having conversations that might, you might resonate with, and
Real conversations.
yeah, real conversations. So the soul tribe is us. It's our, those people that you just know you can have a conversation with them about anything, anywhere, anytime.
Yep,
You
no
walk into
judgment.
a room, you might have met them for the first time and it feels like you've known them forever. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create an online space that could, extend into other things that I haven't quite come up with yet, but that's okay. It'll all come together as it needs to. So we're going to be sharing lots of things on our social media, and we're going to try and, just encourage people to take that first step into our inner abyss. Into that inner void that we've been maybe avoiding. And take a leap of faith, I guess, into living your true self.
Yes. And do you know what my favourite quote is, and I live by this? Nothing grows in comfort.
Yep.
Yep. So we've got to get uncomfortable to grow.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And my favourite one is be your truth, no matter what. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Let's just be us. So, I will link up all our sign-up lists, our social media handles, so you can follow us on social media, where you'll be able to find us, sometimes at markets, sometimes not. And we'd also love people to, share their journeys with us, and any questions you might have, any thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. Is there anything that maybe resonated with you today?
Yep.
Would be really amazing to connect, wouldn't it? And we're hoping that this podcast will get better and easier and
Delete that.
and not as awkward.
It is.
Oh yeah, no, we'll be editing a lot of it. So we'll be hoping that this will build a collective energy, because what we're trying to, really, one of our main goals, I think, is to get a collective consciousness happening.
That's right.
Because, and maybe an example of that is you know, when like the Buddhists, people who maybe follow Buddhism, and all the monks in Thailand, they might have like a massive meditation session right around the world.
Yeah.
So by doing that, they're raising the collective consciousness.
Yeah, perfect.
And that's what we want to be doing, is
Yes.
getting people thinking outside of the box,
Yeah.
thinking about their energy, thinking about their energetic fields, thinking about a bit of awakening, awakening to the noise and the craziness of the world at the moment. So, and let us know what you want us to talk about on future episodes. We're going to be covering lots and lots of crazy topics because we love talking about crazy stuff.
We do.
I think we'll wrap it up here.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Very exciting.
This is exciting.
Yeah,
This is great.
it's going to be really good. We're going to love it. Hopefully you can talk more very, very soon.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for stepping into the ripple with me today. I hope you're leaving with a little inspiration and a whole lot of love. Feel free to share this episode with your tribe, and let's keep raising the frequency of the field together. Until next time, stay naturally wild.